Bass in the comforts. Bass in the chaise, maybe.
That's right. Bass on the chaise.
Bass on the chaise.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all of my cats have been outdoor cats in some way. So I think our first cat was Casey, and we just found Casey one day because we live in the country. And so I think Casey was thrown out of a car at one point and then kind of roamed up, and we went to the vet, got the worm shots and everything. But after Casey, I think there was Jackie at one point. Jasper wasn't really a cat, but he kind of like was a yellow tabby. And he would just be in our back porch for like a month. We'd feed him like sardines and tuna.
And that was about it? Like,
and then he disappeared.
Did he hunt on his own, probably living in the country?
He eventually went on, yeah.
Oh.
But the best cat I've ever had is still with me, and that's Lindy. Lindy is the bomb. I caught Lindy with a giant fishing net.
You did?
And Lindy has been with us for like 13 years. But Lindy will just go off, like, and maybe not so much right now. He's probably, 13 years old at this point, but he'd go off into the woods. You wouldn't see him for 2 weeks. Like, well, I guess we lost Lindy. We lost the cat. And then he'd come right back in and start scarfing down food and return from his travels and go and sleep for a couple days.
I've seen Lindy. He's a cat with class.
He is very classy.
He just, I don't know what it is about him, but he just kind of walks around, his little whiskers up in the air.
Does he have a tuxedo? Is he a tuxedo cat?
He's kind of a tuxedo cat.
That must be it.
Yeah. He's got a cool scar, so he's missing part of his ear.
Ooh.
It's very distinguished.
Mm.
But he's a love bug. Like if I try doing push-ups outside or something, he's just right underneath me, like just waiting for me to come down.
I walk with cats.
The Ozarks of Arkansas have got Beaver Lake. Beaver Water's drunk by 1 in 7 in the state. Beaver Dam, Mississippi's a nice duck hole place to have a hot dang beaver darn great damn day.
I walk with cats.
You do?
I do. I walk with cats.
That seems like a good t-shirt or bumper sticker.
I walk with cats.
Our cat, I will get down on the floor and I'm like, walk with cats. She just walks around with me. Yeah, I do.
Well, that's cute.
It's fun.
I did just for a second think that maybe you walked them like a dog outside, which I've tried and it's just never successful.
No, it doesn't work. I mean, I don't know what your experience is, but our cat is like, she wants to get outside. But if you take her outside, then she gets really low to the ground and kind of afraid.
Right. It's like the leash weighs 1,000 pounds all of a sudden. And
I know.
They've got to negotiate this heavy weight on their back.
Yeah, that's what happens. So I don't know why they're always trying to get outside then.
Of course, we got our cat when we went to a separate club and realized when we got back home that he had been traveling in our engine compartment for 15 miles. Thusly, we have miles from Files Separate Club. And that's a great story. But outdoor cat experiences, we have not at the Warmbold household have had much luck with that. I'm reminded of one cat that we had, Sally, which was a great cat.
It's a great name for a cat, too.
A great name for a cat. It was a outdoor cat, apparently, that had just wandered up to our house and stole our hearts. Just was one of those cats that, like, immediately, like, melds with you. And we were just like, okay, we're going to take her. We'll take her to the vet, and we'll do everything the right way. And then one day we had Marlena Day planned. That's my oldest daughter.
Was it her birthday?
It was not. It was just a random day of, like, we were going into the city. We lived near St. Louis at the time, and we went to go see Monsters Incorporated on ice, and we had, like, front row tickets, and we went to a nice restaurant. We had all this stuff planned, and we've been building up Marlena Day. Mm-hmm. But the day before Marlena Day, we were coming home from our friend's house. It was getting 10:30, 11 o'clock at night or whatever. Marlena was in the back seat. She had kind of fallen asleep at the friend's house, so we scooped her in the car to get her ready for Marlena Day and drive really close to the house. And she had gotten hit by a car in the street hours before Marlena Day.
Wow.
And Marlena somewhat groggy, and us dealing with all of this, and we can't tell her at the beginning of Marlena Day. We have to let Marlena Day go on as regularly scheduled. So
wait, so when did your lovely wife figure this out? Was this before Marlena Day, like 10 o'clock?
Right. This was like when we were coming home from the friend's house. It's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, whatever it is. Might have been 11:30 or midnight. We were, in our younger ages back then. Of course, we were all younger back then too. So, and
I probably wasn't born yet.
Right. No, that's a good point.
That's true.
Neither
Prove
of
it.
you
Sign
may
your birth
have been.
certificate.
At this point, my nephew, my godson Jonathan, is about 3 or 4, kind of just learning how to talk. He was visiting us that next day.
Oh.
And so we had to tell Marlena, and then Jonathan found out. He does not know what death is at this point.
Yeah,
I'm
probably
guessing
not.
3 or 4, So really just for the whole time that he was with us as a guest, he would randomly 20, 30, 40 times a day say, Sally died. Sally
Oh my
died.
God.
Sally died. Sally died.
Whoa.
So we had this linger. So first we get through Marlena Day, and then we pay for it with 3 or 4 days of constant reminders about Sally.
That was his first encounter with death.
It was.
And it really struck a chord with him.
Yeah.
It must have. Yeah. It's and so, but now he's gotten over it.
I would hope so.
Is he a mortician now? What does he do?
He's in construction.
One of my takeaways from that whole story is you're actually a godfather then.
They made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So
the Godfather.
but
Are you only a godfather to one person?
Yes,
Okay.
That's a
Thomas,
good
what about
question.
you?
that I know about.
Don't
Oh.
think I'm
Did
a
you know
Godfather. I'm pretty sure I'm not.
Yeah, you would know.
I think I would. Well, it's not like they give you an monogrammed shirt or something or a badge that you
no.
steam on your jacket.
No, that's true. And there's no DNA testing because, that's a different type of situation.
There's
So,
no licensing agency.
No.
Oh, no, now that you ask me this, I'm really wondering if my friend Eli asked me to be Ari's godfather. And I don't think that happened, but now it's there's a possibility.
Well, there would have been a celebration.
Would there have been?
Are they religious?
Were you at the christening?
They're not
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. But then
Yeah,
again, too,
probably not.
I
I'm
did a lot of
overreacting.
things just because it was tradition, for the party and all that.
Oh.
So, but I'm a godmother twice over.
You're popular.
Really?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
I know.
So are they
Brush
anybody
the
we know?
shoulder.
No.
Okay.
Are
Well,
you proud to be their godmothers? Equally.
Pride is a weird thing.
It is a weird word.
Yes, it's very weird. And quite honestly, no, I'm not.
For either or for both?
Both. At the time, this was a long time ago, obviously, and it's like a religious title. I'm not, and he isn't either. So, I love him. I'm happy to know him. I feel like he's made a lot of wonderful accomplishments in his life,
Mm-hmm.
but not because of me.
Yeah.
So therefore, I can't take pride in what he's done.
I take full responsibility for all of the accomplishments in my godson's life.
Do
I just want to
you?
go on the
Okay.
record right
All the
now
buildings
saying that
he's erected.
all of it was because of me. All the mistakes, though, that was all my sister's fault. So
Wait, so Godfather, Godmother, that's not an official title, is it? Godfather, Godmother? That's not a legal document, right?
No.
Then what is the point about it, I guess? Why do we still do this?
I think it's a 2-tiered thing. I think you've got the religious component, which I don't think very many people go through the process of asking somebody to be a godparent unless there's some type of thing attached to it, some type of ceremony or something important.
Correct. I agree. There would have to be a ceremony, I would imagine, or a party at least.
But I think you could still have the secular component of it there that, has nothing to do with the religious aspect. And I don't really know what it is, but I remember this being explained to me a long time ago. Oh, if something happens to me, please take the lead in looking after so-and-so.
Right.
Yes, but that terrified me actually as a child because my godparents, I didn't know very well. So I always thought, boy, if something happens to my mom and dad, boy, things are really going to change,
They're going to get a new housekeeper.
New family. Yeah.
So that's not expected because, right, Godfather, Godmother, you're supposed to be like the abject guardian, the backup guardian in case the parents pass away.
Sure, right, yeah.
Why
Kind
would
of what
you
I
put
understood
that-
as a kid anyway, but I'm sure it's not that way now because now it's all about legal documents and this is not legally binding.
But I could see how it could pave the way for some type of formal guardianship or something like that.
You could go to the judge and say, I was made godmother. Here's the proof. There was a photo of me at the christening.
Yeah, I don't know whatever I'm sure the processes vary by circumstance, but I imagine there's some type of legal recourse that could be followed through there. We could speculate about legal recourse all day long. So
What is
So
that?
are you saying that
What are you doing? No.
LA's now
Say
on
it.
the hook
What is
for what we're even talking about?
I read it all in
We
your
were
face.
talking about the fact that I am a godmother 3 times.
What, you said twice.
Over.
That I know about.
Slip of the tongue, yeah.
3 times
You
over.
left one out?
3 times
Whoa.
over.
Do we have to edit all this previous stuff so that do all of your godchildren listen to your podcast?
I'm not friends with the mom of the third.
Okay, so
person,
shouldn't you have
so-
less godchildren than when we started this conversation? How did you add a third one here?
Life gets busy, I mean,
I better check
just-
my
it
text
just
messages and make sure
does.
that I haven't added one.
We're going to go
Right.
5 minutes. Like,
Okay.
oh, yeah, there was 4. Were you dreaming about my mother again?
I was not. By the way, did you tell her that?
No,
Did
I
she
didn't
listen?
tell her that. No, I totally forgot about that.
Okay.
She doesn't like engaging in conversations about fruits. So I couldn't
No?
have said, hey, LA was dreaming you were eating strawberries. She would have hated
Strawberries that tasted like something in the refrigerator. So they didn't taste like strawberries. Yeah.
it. Ew. That's gross.
Which, by the way, my dream journal is pretty much dead now.
Oh, are we supposed to be doing that?
No, we
That's
weren't.
not a continuous
We were
thing.
not
Okay.
supposed to do that, and I haven't been. I was going to keep it up, just
Oh.
because I was like, oh, I like this, but I don't have the motivation to do it. Like, I don't have somebody that's like keeping me on task.
Start a section in your phone. The problem is you're doing it on paper.
Yeah, but see, I don't like looking at my phone during the middle of the night. Like, if I wake up at like 3 a.m. and I remember a dream, I'm not going to want to like pick my phone up and look at my phone and put my dream on the notes in my phone.
Well, do you have the notebook next to your phone?
I do.
Or next to your bed?
Next to my bed. Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, whatever method at that point.
Yeah, but I think we've had this conversation before. I have like 5 different journals that all of them have started out as like gratitude journals, but they have one by one become something different.
Grievance journals.
Yes.
There's a lot of grievances, Phil.
Right. So maybe we should talk about our grievance journal
Do you have
someday.
do you have a commitment journal, or is that only a couple pages filled
A
out?
commitment?
Yeah.
Like she needs to be committed?
No, I am
Thank you.
committed to filling out this journal every day.
No.
And after the first page, it's just
No.
blank.
I don't. In fact, I will shock myself because, with this whole thing, I was like, okay, well, which one can I use for my dream journal? My new dream journal, right? And so I was looking through some of them like, whoa, this is like from 3 years ago. And then there's like this big jump in time to like 2023, and it's like, yeah, I just don't keep up with it.
That's how all my
I'm a
journals are.
journal failure, basically.
Do you go back to your dream journals and read years old dreams?
Not really. I don't think I do, but I do read years old grievances.
There's a lot to go through.
Which, maybe that's my issue. Maybe I need to stop doing that. I need to start reading my dreams instead of my grievances.
You need to burn your grievance journal. I mean, you need to
So-
release
well,
that
I've-
energy into the universe and purge yourself of it.
Yes.
I've heard that, but I am planning on writing a book someday, so I don't want to do
Oh,
that.
watch out if
Yeah.
you've crossed LA paths.
Based on your experience as a godmother or through your dreams?
No, obviously not. That would be a very short book. No, I think I have a lot to tell. I mean, I've been through a lot of relationships. My family life growing up was very chaotic and probably not too unusual from what a lot of people have experienced. I mean, a lot of people have chaotic and abnormal family life. I mean, what's normal? There's normal is abnormal, right? Pretty much.
Well, you live in suburbia, you have a dog.
Yeah.
Abby normal, maybe.
Your mailman is peering through the windows in the middle of the night.
Bye, Terry
Ooh.
Gar.
Which, by the way, I have to say something, and this would be a great scarecrow. I just have to put this out there because I was driving down Spring Street the other night, and
In Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, or was it another
in
Spring
Beaver Dam,
Street?
Wisconsin. And of course, we have all those scarecrows. Which, when they first put those out, and I don't realize they're out, I think I've almost hit someone
Yes.
all the time, right?
Every time.
And you hit them, and they're standing up against a sign.
I think it's
as
a
result
pedestrian
of it?
waiting at the light.
Yeah, waiting at the
Oh, I
light,
better
waiting at
slow
the
down.
corner.
They are figures of
yeah.
people meant to scare birds away, so
The
they're
scariest one,
functioning,
though, the
for
scariest one, and I hope somebody does this next year because I didn't do it this year. I could have sworn that the one that was by the library in Beaver Dam looked like it was looking in the window, like
Of the-
they
of the
had it
library.
by the window. Yeah, and I'm just
Oh.
like, that would be a great scarecrow.
Deeper,
Yeah,
There was one of like the Queen of Hearts I kind of like, and that's down this way
yeah.
where everyone can see.
I see
where
that
I'm
one a
pointing
lot.
on
Yeah,
this.
The Elwood one is my favorite. I think that's
That's
pretty funny.
Elwood. That's Elwood.
Okay.
Oh.
The one you were just talking about?
No. There's another
That's
one.
the
I'm like,
Queen of Hearts.
I was like, I remember that haircut. Whose haircut is this? It's Elwood's haircut.
Plus, he's wearing a guitar strap that says Elwood on it.
I never
So
saw
that
the
was kind
guitar
of a dead
strap.
giveaway, I would think. But
That's pretty cool. Did he make that one himself then?
I would seriously doubt it.
Probably not.
Somebody else made it for him.
Probably
I
a
hope they
big
asked
Sure,
an
permission.
Elwood
right.
fan. Maybe Craig made it. I don't know.
Would you make your own scarecrow?
No.
Of the three of us, who would be most likely to make their own scarecrow?
Oh, it's totally L.A.
L.A. Sorry.
I don't
Absolutely.
think
You've been
so.
voted
Oh, yeah.
to make the scarecrow.
Well, it's not happening.
Posing for a glamour shot on like.
Or wait,
one
no, it doesn't
street
have to be
corner.
me though. Just any scarecrow of
No,
like,
of you, a scarecrow
scarecrow
of you.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking that.
Well, maybe I'll think.
Can we
about
get
it.
a trio of scarecrows? Can we make like a
A three-headed
Great
scarecrow.
Beaver Fiasco three-headed scarecrow next?
Sure, let's do it next
Next
year.
year?
Which
Well, it's too late this year.
it's totally too late.
We haven't even opened up the show officially because no one said this is the Great Beaver Fiasco. Like and follow us on Facebook, and you can also listen to us on Spotify and Podbean, and whoever edits this episode is going to have to move that to the beginning.
Okay.
Ooh.
It seems like we really just ran into it. Should we do it again? But this time, a little bit more deliberate, with a little more passion. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
The
Great Beaver Fiasco.
Have a gosh dang beaver darn great damn day.
Like and follow us on Facebook.
And you can listen to us on Podbean.
Perfect.
What's the topic today?
The topic is no topic.
Well, I think the topic is maybe pre-Halloween, possibly.
But we're kind of already after Halloween
When
at the
is-
same
When
time.
is officially
Well-
Halloween?
When are people listening to us?
Probably
Not right
after
now.
Halloween. But some people say Halloween is every day. Are you cooking something tonight?
But Halloween happened
I
yesterday.
was thinking about a pizza.
2
But
days
Okay.
ago.
I was eating taco meat on Brussels sprouts before you came in.
Yeah, when I came in, Thomas was on the floor.
Oh,
I-
did they
I-
give you gas?
No.
Brussels sprouts?
No, I was sitting. Well, that's true. Yes, but
Oh, they did, but that's
Which-
not why you were sitting.
Also, I
It
did
felt
bring
better.
your plate back from your charcuterie
wonderful.
board.
Yeah.
What'd you call it? Charcuterie.
So it was it was the chocolatey cooter board. Yeah.
And
Well,
we have
what's
3
on there?
cookies.
Some
Cookies.
Oh,
yeah,
whoops.
just non-frosted sugar
Ooh,
cookies.
kitty cookies.
Yeah. Well, there's one witch in there.
oh,
Cookies and witches.
But you don't
Thank
have to
you.
eat them.
I might eat them.
Okay. Well, and Thomas can have
Thomas,
one.
would you
oh,
like one?
three cookies, one for each of
I
your
don't want one.
godchildren.
I have had my fill of cookies, believe it or not.
So wait, we're
Did you make
talking
them?
about the scarecrows.
Yes, I did make them.
in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, and what's the name of the big festival that just happened? Downtown Fall Fest, right?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, so those events happened. Trick or treating already happened yesterday. Just for those confused by this who may be living in a normal city that observes Halloween on Halloween.
On Halloween, which would be great. Yeah.
We're literally all done here in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. I mean, the thrill is gone.
Well, by the time this episode comes out, everyone's Halloween will be over.
Oh, it'll be Thanksgiving of
But
2026.
it's weird.
if I'm editing it.
Columbus was the same way. Columbus was a couple days ago, and my dad was cruising around town, yelling at people in their costumes. And, compared to like what it was 15, 20 years ago, there was hardly anyone out there. There was maybe a group of like 6 people as a family going, but otherwise, there's no children around.
You're in the middle of nowhere. Who's going to your house? If somebody's trick-or-treating at your house, they are lost or they're a serial killer.
Well, I'm not going to dispute either of those. No, he was in Columbus driving around
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
with homes and people.
Well, I think it's confusing because they did have like trick or treating on the Saturday before Sunday of trick or treating in Beaver Dam. So
Sunday,
I think,
yeah.
and that was like the businesses had trick or treating because of Fall Downtown Fest.
Mm-hmm.
And I think probably some parents trust that more than, having kids go up to a stranger's house and get something that they're going to ingest.
I had hundreds of kids at my house.
Yeah, well, we did too. I mean, we had a lot of kids in our neighborhood as well. We went through a lot of candy, but we do anyway, just on a regular day. So, there's nothing different there. But
What
spikes
is
a little
happening
bit.
at your house?
huh?
You're having kids eating candy like every day?
Well, I mean, we do like
Have you
in
not
my
met her
house.
yet? Are you L.A.? This is
Open a
Thomas,
vein,
Thomas,
I
LA.
bleed licorice vines.
this is why there's only 3 cookies left in a plastic bag.
Yeah, so maybe they are left over.
Yeah.
So the age-old question, do you like having Halloween trick-or-treating before actual Halloween? I'll say no.
I would prefer it on Halloween as well, because otherwise it just seems like another day, really.
We have traveled when our kids were like peak trick-or-treating age to other communities that had trick-or-treating
Did you?
hours on Halloween.
Well, that's the thing. You want to go to a community that probably is financially maybe a little better off, and you get better candy that way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
maybe.
big part of it, right? You want to shop around a little.
My kids have always gotten a lot of candy, though. Like when they used to go trick-or-treating, I mean, more candy than we could eat, really.
I mean, I remember getting just bags and bags and bags full. And it seems like kids nowadays are like filling up like a Walmart bag. And that's good. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I
Does
mean,
it-
we would go for like 6 hours.
Right.
We would just be.
It doesn't feel the same anymore. You know, and
That's
like,
because they do it during the day.
well, and 20 years ago, it was at night, and I always thought there was more like stranger danger, like
Mhm.
25 years ago, and now that doesn't seem to be said as much, and yet people are a little bit more withdrawn from going to strange homes.
Yeah, well, I think too, like when I was a kid anyway, my parents never went with me.
You
Not
just went
even
alone?
not even an older sibling. Yeah.
I never remember going with my parents.
You went rogue.
Yes, we did. I mean, we went everywhere just, as little kids.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was at nighttime.
Yeah, we would 40 years ago. We would trick or treat on the way home from school. Just school kids.
Mm.
Yeah.
Put it in my backpack.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
it's candy day. You are obligated to give me candy. It really doesn't matter what I wear.
That's right. Good times, good times. Are we okay tonight? All of us? Is everybody fine?
What do you?
What kind?
What,
What?
do you mean? Like, are we checking blood pressure?
Yeah, I'm just, yeah. Is everybody okay?
Like a mental health check-in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm okay.
Okay,
Maybe a
good.
little tired, but I'm all
Yeah.
right.
Craig?
I guess I hadn't really thought about it much.
Well, think about it. Or maybe don't, because then if it's going to put you down,
I mean, I don't know if you know about the state of the world right now.
I
and
do.
some of the things
Yes.
that
You are
going
patting
on.
your
I
legs.
do.
like-
I
What
do
is-
know about the state of the world. And I mean, yeah, there's a lot to be worried about. That's true.
Reefs are dying. Planets heating up. War, famine.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't tell if you're starting to
No,
cry
it
or
was-
if
it was
you're
just the first, like just saying like, yeah, the world's going to hell, the wreaths are dying, like everything else you said, like I would not have laughed for, obviously, but I don't know, something about that.
something
really
about
just-
that struck a chord.
Yeah.
I'm glad you could laugh at all the misery in the world.
Well, what else are we supposed to do? We got a surplus of misery.
Yeah.
We do. Yeah, no kidding.
Was there any specific reason why you wanted to check in? Were you just kind of feeling the vibes?
Just asking because I normally don't ask how you guys are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
All right.
took this very morosely.
Yeah, I guess so. I
Oh,
mean,
well,
I just care about both of you and just checking in. That's all. That's,
Do we have to ask LA how she's doing?
LA,
now?
how are
Is
you?
that
No,
part
I'm
of the
fine.
Quid pro quo here?
I'm
Is
good.
everything all right?
Yeah,
Everything's
everything's
fine with
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I do not work in a cobalt mine, so everything's good.
The hell does that?
You really don't want to work at a Canadian mine.
Any kind of mine, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
yes.
Right,
So
sure.
I really have nothing to complain about
But
ever.
we support the miners out there.
I know it would
and
be
the
a
adults, the
really
juveniles,
hard
minors.
life, like
Right.
so hard.
Not
so
easy.
I really have a cushy life, so I'm pretty lucky.
Were you reading stories about cobalt miners before coming here today?
No,
Where
I
did that come from?
It's just something I was made aware of. Charlie and I
Cobalt
have
mining?
interesting discussions.
Is that a particularly hard or
Oh
just
yeah, it's
gruesome type
well,
of
it's
mining?
terrible, and children have to partake in this.
What do
and
we
it's-
use cobalt for?
I think they're used in like batteries.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know cadmium
Okay.
is, and that's mine.
Cadmium,
Isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know I didn't know
Just-
what. I don't know. I thought it was a color. I didn't
Yeah,
even know it was a
I know.
thing.
I was the same way until
Cobalt blue. Yeah.
Do we
Right?
mine for turquoise? Well, I guess that's a rock.
Well,
You
people
know, so
probably
that's
or
maybe
you could just
birthstone.
find it actually. But I think that I don't know where you actually get turquoise in the southwestern part of
I
the United States.
would agree that it does seem
Huh.
like it's more prominently featured in jewelry that has kind of a southwestern feel to it.
It's actually the stone for people born in the month of December. So
Right.
obviously, I am very aware of turquoise because my birthday's in December.
Ah.
So don't have very much turquoise, but I am
Uh-huh.
aware of it.
I'm emerald.
Well, that's your gemstone.
Well, what were you talking about? There's a difference between a
color?
rock
Yes,
is a
there's-
gemstone.
Well, but okay, like a turquoise.
Explain
There is-
yourself.
What's
there-
my
there-
bird then?
There's a difference. I'm sure I could. I'm sure if I thought about it, I could figure it out. No, my gemstone is blue zircon.
Blue zircon.
Yes, which
She
is
just made that
pretty-
up.
No,
didn't
I
she?
did not.
That's not
but
a real thing. You're
actually,
just putting us on.
Actually, there's no like blue zircon is you're not able to get it anymore.
Blue Zircon is the villain in the third Toy Story
Right?
movie.
I know that's a
think.
great name for a villain, but look it up. You cannot get it anymore. I actually do have a ring from when I was a child, so I do have some blue zircon, but that's December's gemstone. But the stone is turquoise.
So wouldn't blue zircon be more valuable than diamonds if you couldn't find it anywhere? Is it like priced in the market like on par with like other rare jewels?
Well, I don't think it's as wanted. Like it's not. It doesn't have the
We
same
don't
meaning as a
want
diamond.
any-
just
anything
because something
unless
is
it's
rare.
rare.
Well, just because it's rare doesn't mean it's useful. Diamond is
It's-
rare and useful.
Yeah, but it's like a blue green gemstone, and diamonds have a particular meaning. Obviously, diamonds, engagement rings. They have a long
Because
history,
they're
a
rare.
tradition. But actually,
Nobody
they're
gets
not.
a diamond so that they could cut glass and get married.
No,
Secret
but,
agents would.
But
Well,
look it up if you don't believe me. My phone's
No,
dying.
I
so
don't
can't.
not believe you. I certainly believe you. I'm confused about.
No,
the-
that's because that's what I thought as well. But I mean, they can make man-made blue zircons. Like you can make a
just
man-made, a
diamond.
laboratory-made diamond.
Would that be a cubic zirconian zircon?
I guess it would be.
Zirconian zircon.
That's what I'm
Um,
going for.
But no, okay. Opal is October's birthstone,
Okay.
but it's not a gemstone. Like you can't cut it, to put like facets in it or different shapes.
In
Yeah,
opal,
I-
you can't.
Wait, so a gemstone
No,
has
so
to
it'd
have
break.
facets in it? Is that what
Yes.
qualifies
Yeah,
it as
I mean,
a
I
gemstone?
can't think of the word right now because you guys are both interrogating me
Well,
again.
You are scorning us for our lack of
Fascinating.
gemstone and birthstone knowledge. I don't know geology as well as you, apparently. I'm sorry.
I've been
Well,
ignorant
yeah,
this whole
and
time.
I never really had to try to explain it to people who didn't know like anything about it.
I
Usually,
know
people I've
nothing.
explained
I
it to
know-
have
I think
had
literally
some
know
sort
nothing.
of grasp on
Most of the people
stones and
listening to this podcast
gemstones.
probably don't know that much about gemstones.
Oh,
This is not a jeweler's podcast. This is the great.
I'm not a
Liberty
jeweler
Outro.
either. I'm just a well-informed person who probably, I guess, would do very well on Jeopardy, even though I've never gone on Jeopardy. But
I'll take gemstones for
I
$500.
guess I just assume that people have common knowledge of things.
So
about uncommon
Wow.
subjects.
So everybody has like a gemstone
Yes.
and a rock. Don't they also have like a mineral too? Or is that not common knowledge? That would... What other,
Craig, you
what
bring
other
your
things do
specialized
people
knowledge
have?
in here.
Is there like a formal list of things like that are
Probably.
associated with somebody's birthday?
Probably there is, yeah.
For every birth
For
month?
months, for
Yeah.
birth months, yeah.
Okay, like do we have like our own amphibian or anything like that? Is
I
that just
don't
a
think so.
general animal?
Well, honestly, it has to probably be something that can be capitalized on as far as making money to
Mm.
sell to people as gifts for birthdays.
Are spirit animals somehow related to birth dates?
I don't think so.
That's more of a personal, like one. However, you reach
think
out
it's-
into the.
totally just that. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, do you feel like you have a spirit animal?
I feel like Will Ferrell would be my spirit animal,
But he's a man.
but humans
He's
are
an
animals.
Animal.
Okay.
And I think that would be the ridiculous part. He would probably be like on all fours, like you with your cats, and he would be like running around and like doing all sorts of crazy antics, and just be like, "I'm an animal,"
If he
Yeah.
never spoke, if he acted like a cat while being Will Ferrell,
right? Licking his back of his hand and
I can see that.
licking his
Okay.
leg in your bathroom, like, get out of here.
like, oh, why is this got to be my spirit?
Even
animal?
though bathing for cats is a social behavior.
It's
You
for
mean-
humans too.
tongue bathing, we're
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
actual
yeah.
bathing.
Yeah. Like when they start doing that, that means that they've accepted you, they're comfortable around you. If they
Oh,
bathe in
it's-
front of you.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
when a couple leaves the bathroom door open. Yeah,
I
no,
guess
get
so.
it.
No
With the
different than
toilet seat up.
humans, really.
Yeah, that's true.
So the bird of October is the vulture.
Ooh.
What does that say? Like it's the last month of like
Huh.
life? We're picking
Maybe.
away at the final days of summer?
Well, we're well into fall though. But yeah, the idea of the cycle starting to die off, for sure.
Or decaying.
I mean, it's a fitting. What if it was like a mourning dove? Everybody'd be like, "Well, that's dumb."
Yeah, except mourning, because you're sad because.
Somebody just died because they were eaten by a vulture.
Yeah, along those lines, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That is terrifying. I think of the myth of Prometheus in the Greek tale. He was the god that stole fire from the gods and then gave it to man. And then his punishment by Zeus was being strapped to a boulder, and vultures would eat out his liver every day.
Yeah.
And then he would heal up, and then they would do it again the next day.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not really an animal that I think we should be venerating in any capacity.
No, I don't think so either. Even though I guess you can look at it and say that they're kind of like, because they're scavengers, because they do kind of like clean things up maybe.
So is that the downfall of man that we've discovered and harnessed fire? Was that like the apple?
I think
That
consciousness.
we keep blaming on Eve?
It's being able to be aware of our own actions and willpower, and that is our downfall.
Are you saying that that's our downfall, or that's what fire represents in the story?
I think the fire could represent that consciousness of like the innovation, the curiosity of like exploring more. Because any god could have teach man or humans how to strike fire with stones.
Any
but
god.
steel-
Old run-of-the-mill gods teaching about the stones. Nick and Keith and everybody, yeah.
The Greek god Keith. That should have been in a Bill and Ted movie. Like, I'm Keith. I'm the god no one talks about. I'm the god of rock and roll. But they left me out of the history books.
So yeah, Prometheus. Who's your favorite Greek mythological figure?
I don't think I would say I have a favorite.
Who is December's
come
Greek
on.
mythological figure?
You don't have a
figure?
favorite Greek god or myth or
I don't
anything?
think so, no.
I'm going
No.
Medusa.
Medusa.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool hair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I'd have to think about it, I guess, and refresh my memory too, as far as the Greek myths.
Mm.
So
Really, I don't know that I remember any more than Prometheus, Zeus. But-
So Demeter, like the god of
yeah.
agriculture and the coming seasons. Persephone, the goddess of the underworld, but she's a daughter of Demeter.
I don't know. I honestly cannot remember. It's like, because I obviously have a daughter who
Mhm.
remembers everything about the Greek gods and the myths, and she'll rattle these and I'm like, oh wow, that's really cool. I like that. It's like, as far as like, remembering, I don't remember.
Dionysus.
That's what
is
I was
the first
thinking of.
one that comes up.
Yes. The god of frivolity and wine and partying, right?
Hmm.
The Greek god of vegetation and fruitfulness, known especially as the god of wine and ecstasy. I don't think we're talking about the modern drug equivalent, just the act of being in a state of ecstasy. Or not, maybe, who knows how long, we've been synthesizing compounds for millennia, no doubt. That's why they were burning witches at the stake, I imagine, at one point. So I guess that's possible back in...
Wow, you really
back in the time
you
of
really
Zeus.
twisted that one around.
Well, I mean, there's no way to
Nice.
disprove it.
Right, yeah. What are you going to... We can just speculate on anything that we want
Yeah,
here on this podcast.
true.
Zeus was high on methamphetamine, obviously.
Clearly.
Clearly.
His
Oh,
poor
they left
teeth.
that out of the Iliad.
So Demeter was the one that you mentioned before. She was the Olympian goddess of agriculture, grain, and bread, who sustained mankind with the earth's rich bounty.
Okay.
Okay, that's. Now you're not vibing with that one?
No, not at all.
Okay.
All right. Gilgamesh.
That was...
Gilgamesh is a Mesopotamian myth.
Oh, I thought that
Roman?
was the Smurfs'
Okay.
enemy.
Was it?
I think you're right.
Probably.
It
was
maybe, or
Gilgamesh,
something
right?
Well,
like
all
that.
I know is you have to say his name every day, and then he's immortal. So, which kind of makes sense, because if you did that with anybody, they would be immortal.
I forget who was that. Because the Epic of Gilgamesh, he had a friend who ended up dying, and they were like almost lovers in a weird way or something.
Weird. Hey, man, no judgment
Yeah.
here.
Well, it was like some sort of like close relationship, and then he passed, and then Gilgamesh like lost his immortality or something.
I don't know. Like, honestly, I think I need to start taking a supplement because my memory is not what it used to be.
I have some mushrooms in my closet.
Do you?
Yeah. I picked up a spore kit actually
Did
from a grocery store. I didn't know they sold those at grocery stores now.
Not like chill out and listen to fish kind of mushrooms you're talking about.
No, it's a spore log. So it's a
What?
plug of mushrooms.
Another one. Wait, you've had spore logs in the
Yeah.
past.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
this is different. So the first time I got mushrooms was from like an actual mushroom farmer.
Yes, I
that
remember
Dutch
that.
guy.
His name was Mads.
Mads, yeah, the mushroom dude.
Those are like the three most awesome things I've ever heard. Somebody's named Mads. They're a mushroom farmer. Well,
And they're Dutch.
And they're Dutch. That's. I'm sorry.
pretty
Carry on with
awesome,
your
yeah.
story.
But they were like shiitake logs,
Mhm.
and basically you resubmerge them for like 24 hours or so, and then you
Mhm.
put them in a dark place, cover them up, forget about them. And they all sprouted, and I never did anything with them. I just had all these mushrooms. I'm mushroom rich, and then I let them
Oh.
decay, and I never did anything.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
they were edible ones though, right?
Oh, I ate one right off the log.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Was it delicious?
it was actually pretty good.
You just sounded like Kramer from Seinfeld when you said that.
It was.
It takes me back.
Athena is the goddess of wisdom, war, and the crafts. I mean, when Zeus is handing out all the, you're like, I will bestow you with wisdom. I will bestow you with the whore of war and arts and crafts. Here you go. Here's a paper punch and some felt.
some glitter. too.
Crafts.
Some glitter. Like, it seems just like a weird
Well, it's like
group of
basket
things.
weaving,
Hmm.
and maybe using the loom. I would think you would like Athena. Zeus swallowed, I think, the child, and then it basically was the only child born from Zeus. He had a splitting headache, and then someone split his head open, and Athena popped out in her full galia, in armor and everything, just out of his
Wow.
skull.
Wow, that
Like,
was
how is that for an origin story?
that's like that movie
pretty great.
with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, where Schwarzenegger gave birth to I didn't know Zeus gave birth to somebody.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, Junior.
His name was
Junior.
That's the name of the movie.
Oh, but Zeus's name was
Arnold and
Junior.
Danny DeVito.
That's where
wow.
we get the term
All right,
Junior. You're
all
right.
right.
Yeah, it was not Kindergarten Cop.
Huh. Well,
Or
Aphrodite is the
twins.
Greek goddess associated with love, lust, beauty, pleasure, passion, procreation.
So, do you know how Aphrodite was born?
I do not.
Okay, it's awesome. So,
Okay.
before like Zeus and the gods, right? So that'd be like
Yes.
Hera and all those. They were born of Kronos, and Kronos's mother was Gaia, and Gaia was the wife of Uranos, or what we might say Uranus. He was like the god, like the figure above all those.
There will be no jokes.
There will be no jokes
We will
here.
just keep going.
No comedy. Gaia did not like Uranus, and had this special sickle carved and gave it to Kronos. And they were at this mountain, and Kronos is hiding in a crack, and Gaia brings out, and Uranus is kind of strutting around, and he takes off his loincloth, and he's totally nude. And that's when Kronos comes in with the sickle, whoosh, cuts off the manhood of Uranus. And then the godly-ish fluid spews off into an ocean, creates a frothy broth in the water, and out of this broth comes Aphrodite.
Frothy broth?
A frothy broth out of the ocean. Yeah, it
Huh.
just started bubbling and curdling,
Wow.
and then she rose.
And now she's the goddess of sexual pleasure. That all seems so twisted. It
It's
seems
very,
like
it's very
It's very
weird, isn't it?
twisted, yeah.
something on the
It's very-
darkest reaches of the internet. I'm
Well, I mean,
shocked that they're teaching this to you in third grade.
Yeah.
Well, I had nothing better to do. I wasn't going to focus to any other story. Like, let's talk about this one.
Wow. The Columbus School District is just different,
Does
I guess.
that appeal to you?
Well, maybe tomorrow it might.
What is happening tomorrow?
I don't know. You asked if it appealed to me, and not. I mean, none of them really seem to strike a chord.
How about Artemis, the Greek goddess of the hunt and the wild?
Hmm.
The twin sister of Apollo, Artemis is another child of Zeus. Maybe not one that bubbled out of his forehead.
No.
Maybe one that he would have had with his...
Hera,
Who
I believe.
was it
actually.
Hera?
I think
Okay.
so, maybe.
Goddess of the hunt. Or maybe Hermes.
Artemis, goddess of the moon, as well.
Oh, wow. And of trade, wealth, luck, fertility, animal husbandry.
Oh,
She was probably like, "Phew, I didn't get arts and crafts.
wow.
Sleep, language, thieves, and travel. What a weird cross-section to inherit.
There's a lot
See, I
there.
thought you meant sleep language, but not sleep, language. Like sleep language. I was going to say, what is sleep language?
Wouldn't that be dreams?
Sleep
Yes.
common language.
Yes, that would be dreams.
She is the goddess of sleep journals, of dream journals.
Well, maybe
No,
I
she's
should
not.
look her up.
Maybe she is.
And she never wanted to be betrothed to anyone. She wanted to be single. It was the one promise she made Zeus make to her. I never want to be with another man. Any man.
Wow.
Okay. All right,
Well, I guess she knew what she wanted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we could all be so lucky as to get what we want.
Know what you want.
And know what you want. Eris was the god of war. Not hepatitis.
Hephaestus.
Hephaestus, yeah.
Hephaestus, yes.
Gesundheit.
Wah, wah. The god of fire and metalworking and arts and crafts.
Well, yeah, he was
Oh,
kind of
well.
crafty, a blacksmithing. Yeah. Well, he was like the first child of Hera, and he was so ugly when he came out. She threw him off Mount Olympus. He bounds off, like breaks his leg, falls into the ocean, gets
Okay.
raised by sea nymphs, and eventually comes back to Olympus Mountain.
Was he still ugly?
Yeah,
Oh, it's too bad.
but he was like part husband to Aphrodite.
Oh,
So
so she fell in
Kind of
love with his
win.
personality.
yeah,
Okay.
Okay, who was Morpheus?
God of dreams.
God of
Okay.
dreams and sleep.
Wow.
Very good. How about Hooray? Hooray?
God of parties?
God of time.
Did you say hooray or hooray?
Literally almost. He is the god of the seasons and the hours.
I'll take it. I'll take
There you
it.
go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I'll take chicken too. What's the god of chicken?
I don't. That would be Colonel Sanders.
What is this? This is an easy one.
Can you imagine? Zeus is up there. Colonel Sanders kind of walks in. What about my
So,
13 herbs and spices?
Did you two also like look at his head with that tie and think the tie was like a poorly drawn body?
I
Like
thought it
his
was
little
it's a bow tie, right?
Yeah, the bow tie. But if you looked at it, it almost looked like a stick figure body. Like, why did they go into such detail on his head and then his body was so simple?
Yeah, but no, it was his ascot or whatever he was wearing.
Yeah,
His
tie.
Tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Tie, yeah.
look at it. I mean, it seriously
like a
looks.
little-
Yeah, it looks like a stick body with a big head.
No, I've heard that before, and
Have you?
I was not somebody who was raised thinking that way, but
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think that it wasn't unintentional. I mean, they
I
might have
think
been trying to do a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like the FedEx. No, that's not kind of like the FedEx. That's really, there's
Logo?
no comparison there. But I've seen other logos that I thought were, like the USPS logo, the United States Postal Service logo. I always thought that the wing was a nose. The nose of the person in charge of the mail is what I thought that was this whole time. But it's a wing, and it's like the tip of the wing. I always thought it was tip of a
Oh.
nose.
Huh.
You ever had the
I see that.
Toblerones?
Yes.
The Toblerones, if you look at the mountain etching, one of the
Yes.
mountains is the shape of a bear in there.
Are you serious?
of a bear?
Aw.
There's a image of a bear hidden in the Toblerone.
I'm
logo.
gonna have to
Like a
check that out.
Polar bear?
Like a Kodiak bear.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. But isn't it
A bear.
isn't it from like the land of snow, the Toblerone?
But
Toblerone,
is it
whatever?
Swiss?
Isn't that just all
I just know it's
snow
good.
over there?
It might be Swiss. I don't know. I'm not really sure because I eat it too fast.
Mm.
It's good chocolate.
Yeah,
They do
it
go
is very
quickly
good.
around
So
my
I
house.
did find the Greek, I guess, god of chickens. It's Electron. Who is the god of chickens after being transformed into a rooster by
Oh,
Ares.
really?
And I did not know this. Apparently, the Greeks believed chickens were so valuable they did not eat them, but kept them
Oh.
for religious sacrifice, cockfighting, in an early form of clock.
Chickens.
But they're like, we're not going to eat them, but we'll let them beak each other to death.
As a ritual for the gods.
Okay.
Probably.
And then just throw away their bodies?
Yeah.
They probably burned them after they
Mhm.
were done.
You would hope so, but then I wonder if anybody went over there and started to eat some of the.
Charred chicken remains.
Maybe. I don't know.
For 20 points, Prometheus was the god of.
Charred chicken remains. No, wait. No.
Yes.
Yes,
I should
yes.
know because of the movie.
Precognition.
Maybe, but he was known as the god of fire and also famous as a trickster.
Mm.
And he gave fire to humans. This is how this whole
Mhm.
thing
Well,
started
Prometheus
off.
with the vulture in his.
Yeah.
I've already forgotten.
With-
liver.
yeah.
But
it
Prometheus is also the one who crafted man. Zeus wanted like something, and Prometheus went down to a riverbank and crafted these clay figures, and then Zeus breathed life into them. You know, we talked about Best Damn Fest like 35 minutes ago. And
Was
we-
that 35 minutes
and
ago?
It's been like 30 minutes, and we just
Are we supposed to
completely-
circle back to
Well,
that?
I thought we were going to talk about
Because
Beaver
you
Dam a little bit
participated
more.
in it.
Well, yeah, now we're coming back to it, but yes, I did
So
participate. in it.
I don't understand why all the Greek gods were at the festival.
It was part of the costumes.
Was it?
That were on display.
Okay.
So you were in an event.
We are so terrible at setting up any sort of structure in any conversation. So the Fall Downtown Fest was happening this past Saturday, and it was the 3rd annual casket races that the Chamber has hosted now, 3rd year. And it's been an incredible turnout because I was down there with the company that I work for, and we had built this massive casket. This thing was like 150 pounds without anybody inside.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Okay.
We had like the frame of an old Polaris Razor. We had huge ATV tires. It was way too heavy. But all these people would come up and like, this is really cool. Like, when does this happen? Where is this taking place? And I realized that there was so many people from out of town coming just to witness this event. And that's how you think you know if it's something is successful.
Right.
It's not just bringing the town, it's bringing all the little communities outside to your town.
Precisely. And you saw good foot traffic.
Yes.
And not only that, but the city has been blessed to have great late October weather for, it's got to be at least 3 years in a row now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we weren't really doing anything before 3 years ago. So you guys constructed this 150-pound, it's kind of like a little bit of a soapbox derby idea, but the idea is you want to go light, usually. And you're just like, nope, we're throwing that idea out the window.
Right. You're trying to build a casket, so you have to have a frame, you have to have tires, you have to have a structure that's either a coffin or out of plywood it looks like a coffin.
Oh, whoa,
So what did you have?
So some people use actual coffins?
There was some actual coffins that were donated by Northwoods Casket Company.
Okay. Well, is that what your company had?
No, we've made ours out of plywood.
Okay.
Nice.
But it looked like a coffin.
Was
Yeah.
it shaped diamond shape or maybe blue
Blue Zircon,
zircon shaped?
which is the name of our 80s bar that
And-
we're going to open up later.
Okay. All right.
Zircon.
Blue Zircon, come on down.
Yeah,
Very
that
good
has a
80s
nice
ring,
ring
too.
to it,
That's
doesn't
a great
it?
name for a
Yeah.
drink. Like, you try this Blue
It
Zircon?
is, yeah. Next week I'll wear my ring.
Or maybe that's our next alien overlord.
Hmm?
Blue Zircon.
Blue Zircon.
Mm-hmm.
I shall defeat you.
But saw Jonas Zahn
Mhm.
down there as well. He's the owner of Northwoods, isn't he?
As I understand it,
Yeah.
correct.
So
So
he was
what I
taking a look at
understand,
that.
though,
Yes.
is that your company did win some races. Like, how does that work? Like,
no.
How many did you participate in?
oh,
So there were 15 total teams, and there was a lot of different styles. So the basic rules were like you can't be 8 feet long. You have to be within that. There's a certain width requirement. You have to have 4 wheels. You have to have 4 pushers. You have to have at least 3 pushers pushing when you cross the finish line. And certain height restrictions. You can't have any motors or anything like that. But you can have any sort of like weight is not a factor.
okay.
You can have any wheels. Like there's a lot to work around and in. So
you just can't be like above 6 feet.
yeah, you don't want to be massive. Like I don't think you could have a sail and use like wind power if it was
Okay.
windy.
All right.
But you also can't be like 10 feet long for a casket.
But individual pushers can't. You said there are height restrictions. Oh, you mean height restrictions
For the casket.
for the casket?
It kind of seems like a lot of rules. Really?
There was a lot of rules.
Yeah.
Is there cash on the line for this?
Yeah, for the popularity
Well,
contest and for the
there's-
final.
Really?
There's the reason for the
Oh.
We
rules.
should do a fiasco casket next year.
I'm in.
Huh?
There's
But
only
don't
3
you
of
say
us.
you need like 4
So
people
we'll have to get
Let's
somebody else.
recruit a few.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sure, one of our lucky listeners would love.
But there was 15 teams. We were team number 1.
Okay.
So we got the bye for the first set of races.
oh,
So all the 14 other teams, they all had a race once before we even had our first race.
Oh, nice.
how did you get picked number 1? Is that just luck of the draw?
It was luck of the draw.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
And now, did you have a costume on?
I wore a orange sweater that said "Thing Number 3."
Oh, okay.
So we were kind of Dr. Seuss, Tim Burton themed.
Sounds like.
Yeah. Our
Alright.
team name was the Misfits, which worked out really well. So our
Okay.
driver was dressed up like the Cat in the Hat. He was
Nice.
wearing this like fuzzy little lingerie suit.
Yeah, I'm sure we can see pictures on Facebook. I would
I'm sure they're
imagine,
up
yeah.
Was somebody dressed like Alec Baldwin?
No.
Oh.
That would have been great, though.
I guess it would have been a bizarre tie-in and very obscure. He was in the movie The Cat in the Hat with Michael Myers, for those who didn't catch
Oh yeah,
that.
that's a terrible movie. Don't watch
is.
it.
And
Don't
it's
watch
just
it now.
So weird to see him in it too. He plays like the villain, which I'm sure I know enough people hate him, I'm sure, for whatever reason.
Oh, he was
but,
struggling back then.
but it's just a terrible movie, and it was a terrible role. It's just so awful.
I
But
just think he's a
anyway.
terrible actor, really.
I would disagree. I mean, I think if you look at a movie like Glengarry Glen Ross, which is just a
Ooh.
powerful movie,
It's a
he
punch-out
does an excellent performance with that.
Okay.
But there are other performances of his that just certainly seem over the top. I don't think he's that good of a comedic actor. I think he's,
No.
although 30 Rock,
Well,
brilliant
he's
show.
just playing like a version of himself on
he's-
Saturday Night Live.
Precisely. Yeah.
I mean, that's why it works.
right. That is why it works. But yeah, he's not a comedian. I agree.
He's got great timing though. When
Sure.
you think
Think
about like
so?
the NPR skit that he did. Where he
Oh,
was
I
Schweddy.
guess I don't know
here
about
with
that.
Pete Schweddy.
I didn't. Okay.
He's got some Christmas cookies. Pete,
All
tell
right.
us about these Christmas cookies you have here. Thanks, Dolores. These are my Schweddy balls.
Oh my gosh.
Christmas balls my family's made for years. But that's more of a tone and like cadence.
Yes.
that makes it funny.
exactly.
Oh, it turns out that Lorne Michaels and Neil deGrasse Tyson have the same lawyer, and they both reached out to the Great Beaver Fiasco
Yeah,
podcast with a cease and desist.
I would do that as well.
Wow.
We're adding up the list.
Huh.
So back to the casket races. We lost the very first race that we actually contended with.
Oh.
And they had the winning casket. They never lost a race. They had great runners. They had a light casket with bicycle tires, which is exactly what you're looking for.
And you didn't. You had what kind of tires again?
We had Skag caster wheel tires in the
Oh.
front
Oh.
and ATV tires in the back.
Oh.
So,
okay.
and this thing, like, who we competed against, K&B Tree and Lawn Care in Beaver Dam, like, it was a cruiser. It instantly started off. They were able to pull it so quickly. They got to top speed right away, and then they kept it the whole way through.
So they were the winner. The whole
They
thing?
had a light rider. They had a light machine. It was easy to pull and push.
Light Rider.
That's a ticket then.
that show in
With
the
our rider,
80s.
we were like 270, like maybe 300 pounds. So it took us forever to get up to top speed. But once we got up to top speed, all of a sudden our feet are starting to float off the ground like we're hanging on to this like
Are you
barreling
kidding?
cannonball shooting down. It was like, we better stop. Like,
Did you have helmets on?
Does it have brakes?
The rider had a helmet. We had steering. We did not have brakes.
Oh.
So you're responsible
Huh.
for stopping this thing?
Right. So by the
Wow.
time we get up to our top speed, it's like, we got to slow down. Otherwise, we're going to hit the cameraman. Bob
Oh, my
Bob was the cameraman from last week. Remember my dream about Bob ripping off his shirt and diving into the pool? So like Bob's in the middle between the two caskets as they're racing down the street. And, we had to like grind our feet on the road to try and stop in time.
Were you wearing the proper attire? Do you feel that you should have had like shin guards or knee pads or proper booting on?
I felt like I was prepared.
Really?
Okay.
I think you guys should have been wearing armor or something, it sounds like.
It might not have been a bad idea.
Mhm.
Well, why not add more weight on?
Well, exactly. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
We also had a giant Matchbox speaker. So we had a boombox like in the back of our casket, and we were just playing music the whole time through.
What were you playing?
Like 90s
Oh,
dance
okay.
songs.
Oh, it wasn't like
Yeah.
Halloween themed coffin songs?
We wanted pump up music.
Pump up the jam,
Okay.
pump up the volume, that
But,
kind of thing. Salt and
yeah.
pepper. Dee, that kind of stuff. Like the big bass.
Well, there's another cease and desist
She's all
coming our
about
way.
that bass.
I
You
am
gotta
all
love
about
that
that
bass.
bass.
Yeah.
All about
that
that
bass.
Well, it sounds like it was fun.
Yeah, we won the second race, and then we lost our third race, and it was a double round elimination. So after that third and final race, we were done. And honestly, we were so exhausted. We did the second race, and we won. We were like, this is incredible. And not even 5 minutes later, hey, we have to race again. And it's like, oh my gosh, no.
Now,
Yeah.
I've seen these in the past, and like maybe it's because they had less teams, but there were some teams that were competing like 10, 15, 20 times. It seemed like it was just going on all afternoon.
I think
They were probably just showing off.
K&B had probably 8 races.
Next year, we might see Vegas putting odds on it.
I wouldn't put that past them. It was kind of funny because we were supposed to participate in the parade. And,
Really?
And this person...
Wait, there was a parade
Well, yeah, there was a parade on the same street. And so...
for just your event or of everything?
Well, like the whole downtown festival, there's a bunch of people dressed as witches and some other things
Yeah,
going
Oh,
on.
they
like the
have like a
witches
dance thing.
dance, yeah.
Yes.
And I don't know what happened, but we were number one, right? We were the number one team, so we were
Yeah,
leading
you keep
all...
saying you're number one. We get it. You're full of yourself. You've got a big
Yeah.
ego. That's fine.
I know, it feels good,
Mm.
But we were leading all the caskets, and this woman points us to the left and said, "Oh, go down this way. We're starting the parade." So we all start going down, and we're just cheering and pumping up the crowd. And for some reason, all the witches went the opposite direction. And so the parade was split into like 2 separate parades of like, what just happened here?
So it sounds like maybe she gave you the wrong direction.
This woman sabotaged the
I think
parade.
so.
Yeah.
Was she from like Columbus or Mayville or a competing city or something? Was it
Theresa.
Theresa?
Oh.
You can't trust a Theresa.
She's from Pumpkin Center.
Yeah. But it was a fun time.
So
I'm glad. It
recommend
sounds like it.
Watching
Yeah.
it maybe sometime if it's posted online. Or
So
It probably is.
K&B was the big winner?
K&B, Tree and Lawn Care, the Lumberjacks,
Good job.
the Deadwood Racer.
That's what they had. It was called the Deadwood Racer.
Well, they're Lumberjacks, Deadwood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
There's a lumberjack company around here.
No,
Wow.
we sell Lumberjacks. You need a lumberjack to look good in front of your storefront.
Okay.
K&B, Tree and Lumberjack Company.
What other cool-looking cars were there or contestants?
There was a Snow White themed casket that had some lovely decorations on it. There was Andy, like Toy Story.
oh,
So Andy's
Okay,
Closet. So they were kind of
yes.
dressed like Rex and Mr. Potato Head. That was a
yeah.
fun one.
nice.
Sweat in the 80s with Richard Simmons.
Good homage to Richard.
What a radioactive one that I didn't quite understand, but it was cool. NASA. So they had like a spaceship. They all had reflective suits on. It was a really warm morning, so I was like, oh, you must be roasting.
Yeah.
Reflective suits. Wow.
Got to go to space in style.
You know, and it's good to see the event successful year after year. And it is really hard to plan an outdoor event in late October. So hats off to everyone
It's
who
a gamble, but it
took
paid
that
off.
gamble. And it seems like it's paid off year after year. And if there's a year where it doesn't work out, gosh, just hold tight for the next year and push through it.
Well, they'd still have to have it, right? I mean, I actually saw a picture 5 years ago, apparently. Today it snowed. We had snow in Wisconsin
5
years
years
ago
ago.
today.
This time.
Yes.
I could see that. Yeah, I seem to recall that almost. And that's not uncommon this is unusually warm weather, in my opinion. That we've
Very,
had
very
this
unusually
late into
warm.
November
Mm-hmm.
or
and-
October.
And kind of circling back to, checking in how we're feeling today or Halloween not feeling the same now that it used to. I think events like the Fall Downtown Fest, where not just the town, but all these different people come together. I think that's the best course of like the remedy for why we feel so disassociated with each other. Get together for something weird, have a good time, have some smiles, drink some beer, some grog, and just enjoy being together.
That's all you've really got.
This community, wonderful community Beaver Dam is, though it does seem like turnout for events, even on great weather days, could be hit or miss. You could have an event and suddenly 5 times more people than you were planning show up, or you have an event, thinking of the 175th parade and all the events that were associated with that. Beaver Dam was slammed. They ran out of food with the vendors in the park. I mean, it was just like this crazy thing that nobody expected to be. People were 5 deep along like a 2-mile parade route. Sometimes we haven't been able to get people to line a 2-block parade route in town. So did you get a sense that there was good buy-in from the community, that the momentum is continuing to build?
I think so. I don't know if it was as deep as it was last year, but it was still a pretty healthy showing. And just talking to people from out of town, like, there's new interest in new people that have never been here before.
Right.
Are coming in, and that's a positive sign. I would give a shout out to Tracy Probst from the chamber, because she's done a lot where, the wine walk tour,
Yeah.
and we had the fireworks a little bit earlier, like the opening of September, and all the different events that we've had throughout the year. It's a vibrant place, Beaver Dam. There's a lot of life
Was
out
that
here now.
the chamber that put that on, or was it Downtown Beaver Dam Inc.?
I
Or
think
maybe
it
a
was
collaborative
the chamber,
effort between
it
a
was
few of
part
those
it.
entities. And, here's to next year. If you missed it, put it on your calendar. What is it? Final Sunday, Saturday,
Uh,
Sunday,
Open your
the
map
last
of Wisconsin
Saturday.
and look for Beaver
Yeah.
Dam.
I think it's the
That's
last Saturday of October.
Mhm.
But it does seem like there have been more events since she's been at the Chamber of Commerce,
Yeah.
Tracy. So
Good job, Tracy.
even a homebody like me notices that.
She is a fire hydrant of energy.
Yeah.
I don't know, like she just never seems to run out of it. She's always got a smile. She's always just ready to go and optimistic. And it's just hard to find people like that actually fronting your local government and getting excited about local government activities. That's not really a sexy topic, or if at all, I don't know.
True.
Somebody might disagree that that the chamber is a government entity. I think it's a nonprofit that does get some funding from the local government. I think from Beaver Dam for the fireworks, and I think that might be it. But they do still get money from the state. They get money from hotel, motel, bed tax. But for the most part, I mean, that's something that your business community is responsible for propping up. I think it's a good sign of a healthy community with a healthy business community when you've got a thriving chamber of commerce that is supported by the business community and is able to keep doing things like putting on events like that. But then, we've got this other entity there, Downtown Beaver Dam Inc. It's more of a volunteer group based with local business leaders. A lot of crossover between the two. But, when you've got entities like that coming together to put great events on, that's got all the makings of a recipe for success.
Is there any final words you want to include in this podcast? Have you decided on one Greek god that you think best reflects yourself?
I think that will be my mission for the upcoming week. I will reflect on this. Maybe I'll dream about it. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be crazy though if you did have genuine, authentic dreams about Zeus or
what if
Prometheus?
Artemis took you out hunting? You're hunting stags out in the wilderness.
Well, I'd be terrified, but that would probably be more of a nightmare. But
if you were hunting with a bow and arrow?
Yeah.
Why would that be a nightmare?
Because I wouldn't know how to use it.
You have the goddess of the hunt next to you.
In high school, I made one bullseye, and it was on somebody else's target. I'm terrible at this kind of thing. I'm terrible.
That's when you say meant to do that.
Yeah.
What if you're hunting like a Starburst and Skittles?
Well, I mean, that I would enjoy.
Coffee beans.
Now, but if they're running away from me, that would be terrifying.
I bet I could toss one of these cookies in the air, and if you had you'd be able to stick it right to the wall.
You think so? Well,
before
we'll
it fell
try
to the
that
ground.
next week.
Are we bringing treats, snacks next week?
I don't know. I think we've all had our turn, so I think maybe that time has passed.
Oh, we're out of the snack phase already.
I think so,
Did you just lick it? Oh, you ate it.
I hope they're not stale because, they are actually from a party this weekend. So, yeah. I mean, I was still eating them today, but.
No, you made these yourself.
I did. Yep.
Is the size predetermined? Is it or do you roll out the dough and then you hit
I roll out the dough because that one actually is thinner than the other ones. So.
You know what I love about this?
What?
Our whole podcast started off talking about cats. And now here we are. Craig is eating a cat. We got shaped or a cookie. A cookie
He's
shaped
choking
like
on a
I
cat.
don't want to get too political here. This cat is delicious. This is almost as good as the dog I had last week in Ohio.
Beaver Dam, Wisconsin's got peonies and parades. Beaverton, Oregon's where shoes are made.
Sorta.
Beaver Dam, everywhere the people all say, have a gosh dang beaver darn great damn day.